The Man Who Never Was came up. It wasn't really our job, that. But Ewan Montagu, who was our boss, was involved. In fact, he and a man called Charles Cholmondeley thought up the original scheme. And then it all sort of flowed through our office, rather like the sea. And we were all fascinated, of course, by the idea of such a clever deception, which it was. Put some false papers on the body of a Marine officer who was to be launched off Spain, because the Spaniards were so leaking like mad to the Germans all the time, and really on their side anyway. And but in order to deceive where the landings in Sicily, it was pretty obvious. Sicily was a pretty obvious operation, landing from North Africa into Sicily to get up into Italy and invade Europe. But there was a chance that if we got the plans on the leaked plans on the body, that the Germans would move some of their troops either to Greece or to Sardinia, which is in fact what they did. It was called Operation Mincemeat, and which must have been the next code word on the list. But it was very, very convenient and difficult to forget. It was so fascinating, all the little aspects of building up this man's character. You know, they built him up as a good son, and fond of his father, and in love with this girl, and I can't remember. I haven't read the book recently, so I can't remember quite all his characteristics. But and getting the clothes ready. A girl I knew, I didn't know it at the time. She says she went and bought the clothes, and had to buy them and say it in a very loud voice in case there were any spies listening, that they wanted so many trousers, so many socks, and all this for this Marine. They got an engagement ring at Phillips, which was the Montagu family jewellers, and I think they were sworn to secrecy as to where it's gone. What else did they do? I think there were theatre tickets, nightclub tickets, receipts for various things. They built up a whole character. It was extremely well prepared. Ewan Montagu and Charles Cholmondeley and a committee of other people did really all the final arrangements, all main arrangements. And poor Ewan also had to dress the body with a man called Bentley Purchase, who was a coroner in London, who had actually obtained the body. Bentley Purchase had particularly got someone who died of some respiratory thing, so that it wouldn't conflict with him having drowned. Because the Germans, I think, and the Spaniards, tried to suss all that out. But it did seem to have received their seal of approval, if you can call it that. Not everybody in the German High Command really believed it. And that Kesselring, who I believe was a very clever field marshal or whatever he was, always slightly poo-pooed it. But the top ones apparently did swallow it whole. And I cannot tell you the joy when the first results came through Enigma that the Germans had swallowed it. And we were just ecstatic. But it had been fun the whole way through, thinking up little things, what socks he should wear, and what nightclub he should go to, and the business of his fiancée, of course, who was a girl in MI5. They picked out her photograph and decided she was a nice, pretty girl who looked natural. And then another girl in MI5, we were rather jealous about that, wrote the letter that's in the book. We would have liked to have written the letter, but we weren't given the opportunity. This very clever girl, I don't know who she was even, I don't know what her name is or anything, wrote the letter, which was the affectionate letter about Mummy and Daddy and this, that and the other. Well, Churchill, I think, was very interested in the whole thing. I believe he was kept fairly well informed the whole way through, and sort of thing he would love. But he did rather dine out on it, I think, which was another reason why the story was beginning to come out. But when you think about it, it was absolutely incredible, really, that all these things were kept secret. Because I mean, we were all young and liked to tell stories if we could, but we didn't dare. I mean, the Official Secrets Act really worked, I think. I think it was this book that Duff Cooper had brought out that they finally allowed him to tell the story. Because it was quite soon after, really, the war. I looked at your copy just now and it said 1953. And you see, but it was before The Secrets of Enigma came out. So he couldn't put anything about that in it. A friend of mine who worked in the office, she's now sadly dead, she had to give a code word in order to get parcels from Tesco. You get them every time. Guess what her code word was? Mincemeat. So I'm going to use it if I ever have to give a code word for anything. You don't forget it, you see.